Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Season 3, Part 2 of the first episode of The Leader's Edge. Okay, wow. Did you remember or did you watch the first part? Dina Loomis explained and discussed with us the difference between persona and personality. And if you did, later on, there'll be a test. I'm just kidding. But here, let me just quickly give you a little background again on Dina. She is one of the Toastmasters that I've worked with for a long time. She is the first female past district governor of Toastmasters International. She's the founder and president of the first Speakers Bureau in the Philippines, the Southeast Asia Speakers and Trainers Bureau. And to continue her talk, and I'm so excited, to reinvent yourself to thrive in the midst of this crisis, especially this crisis. Let's welcome back Dina Loomis.
Thank you,
Okay.
Mike. So, taking off from part one, we can continue with the slides. When we let go of negative emotions, we can start embracing and practicing positive emotions. So, let's take a look at the next slide. The power of the positive self-talk, or what we call self-fulfilling prophecy. This is now, Mike, where, remember, you mentioned your own experience. This is it. This is what you were talking about earlier.
Ah,
Okay, so what we do is pep ourselves up by talking to ourselves. Whatever it is you want to happen, let me give you a very strong example from America. And I read this from the book uh, several years back that I went through this about people who, by a deep abiding faith, they went through miracles. But this lady, this particular lady, had already cancer, and she was scheduled for surgery. But such is her faith that she believed that when she will ask God to heal her, she doesn't have to go through the surgery. So every morning, upon waking up, she went to her porch and shouted. She looked at the heavens, the clouds above, and lifted up her two arms and said, Lord, thank you, Lord, for healing me completely. Thank you, Lord, that I'm no longer going to go through this surgery because you, Lord, will put your healing hands upon me. And she did this every day in, day out. Af- and she felt good about it. After a month, and she was supposed to go already, having to schedule herself for the surgery. So she went through, it's automatic. They always go through another test, a series of tests. And the doctors just could not believe the results of the tests showed that she had no cancer. And she said, wait a minute. You mean to say nothing? No, ma'am. I don't know what you did. I don't know what you did. And she said, I know. I asked God to be healed, and he has answered my prayer by a deep, abiding faith. So this is what we call self-fulfilling prophecy. When you believe so much in something, it's going to happen because it's that will induce our prefrontal cortex to really, and our reticular activating system to go on overdrive
mm,
and make those chemicals, because our body is composed of negative and positive chemicals. The positive chemicals will run through your body very quickly and will indeed heal you of whatever it is that is, but it doesn't matter what it is. you will be healed because of the chemicals in our body, which, by the way, we are all born with. It's there. So you just tap in, trigger, trigger the positive chemicals to work overtime. And one of that is, of course, exercising. When, when you go outdoors or have indoor exercises, endorphins. Endorphins is one of those positive chemicals that will go through our body and heal whatever it is. In fact, endorphins make us feel happier. You can ask Dino afterwards because he does all this exercising every day, and it doesn't matter what his situation is. He feels so happy afterwards because you have then triggered the endorphins, the chemicals,
Mm.
positive chemicals in your body to work overtime. So this is what the lady did because of her deep abiding faith. Every day she talked herself out of the cancer cells that were in her body. So she got healed completely. By the way, Mike, for your
Yeah.
information, she's not the only one. Um, that's America. In the Philippines, a wife of a pastor was also diagnosed with breast cancer. And here in the Philippines, and she had all the tests to show for it. So she went to America, but before they left, they had prayer sessions and they asked all their prayer partners to pray for her. So every day, hordes and hordes of people here, believers, prayed for her healing. When she arrived in America, and of course, one of the first thing they did was visit the hospital, bring the test results, and so she was tested again. Mike, guess what? The power of prayer, especially collective prayer. The first one that I mentioned earlier, she prayed alone. This lady, she was prayed over, and hordes of believers prayed for her, and she prayed for herself as well. Might the doctors in the US said, well, you have no cancer. I don't know what you did, but there's no sign of cancer. So she thanked all of those who prayed for her, and she thanked God, of course, because she got completely healed. These are just some, but very very strong examples. It doesn't matter what your status is or what kind of condition you're in, because it will happen if you truly believe. So let's take a look at the next slide.
Dina, just to add a little input. So you're
Yes,
saying that the power of self-affirmation really and prayer, that a group healing or a group prayer is also more powerful, right? Does that also mean that when you surround yourself with people who will help you affirm your self-worth and the positive vibes, that also helps a lot,
indeed.
do you think?
That is why, Mike, you will notice there are many of the Western countries. They have what we call Alcoholics Anonymous. They have
Yeah, that's right.
they have the drug addicts. They have this session, group therapy, because by discussing each other's life story, they also strengthen each other. And as a result, they get out of their addiction and their bad habits faster because they can say, oh my gosh, I'm not the only one. And I'm not the worst case after all. I can do it. I can do it. And then people share what they did to get rid of their bad habits. Yes. So in other words, it's not yet popular here in the Philippines, but we should have it. I believe there are some already, especially church-based.
Ah,
But
yeah.
even not church-based, here I know several, again, from the churches. But communities can also do it. People, neighbors who have gone through certain addictions in their life, they talk themselves out of it. Of course, cancer is because of stress. So, acute stress, that's why it becomes cancer. So, when you start to relax some more and more every day, the stress disappears, it is also part of the reason why you can cure yourself of even the most debilitating disease, because most of it is caused by stress. So when you get out of that deep stress, you can also get out of whatever debilitating disease you have.
Yeah.
So now, Mike, here we can see, be a person of value. I can give Dino and you as examples, because Dino, during this pandemic, this crisis, instead of giving in to negative emotions, what did Dino do? He learned so much about videos, about video editing. I mean, how else would we have this program now without him? He's
Mhm.
the admin guy, and he never did it before. So he became a person of great value, not only to us, but to others out there that he is helping. He is also giving tutorials to our speakers, trainers, consultants who really have not yet, transitioned to the new normal. So being a person of value, Mike, could also be, for example, yourself. You are making yourself available, for example, as co-host here in the Leaders as talk show. At the same time, you are lending your presence and your inspiration to other associations, like, for example, the Chess Association of the Philippines. And then I know now you are a certified coach. There are many things we can do to add value to ourselves. So by adding value, of course, I will mention the two, what we call YouTube channels, that apart from the Leaders Eds that Dino created for me. And the other one is just so astounding because every day I do one video a day, and I am able to do it only because of Dino's encouragement and his video editing skills. So you will find that there is now, I'm going to send you the link to that, Mike, because you'll be amazed.
Yeah.
Uh, you
The
know what?
daily one, right? The daily
Yeah,
dynamics. Yeah,
I,
that's a wonderful tool. Yeah, I really enjoyed that. Yeah.
the thing is, I don't really have to dig so much. I mean, it's all there. It's just there waiting, because
Scared.
all these years I don't have a best friend in life that I can share my life, my little thoughts in life and my experiences with. So it's just been stored there. All of a sudden, oh, okay, okay. Oh my God, I'm so glad now I can share it with the
Now
world.
the whole world is your best friend, and we're all waiting to hear your nuggets of wisdom.
So indeed, we can all be persons of value. So just find your niche. That's all you need to do. So Dino, let's take a look at the next slide. Just take charge and be in control of your life. Mike, I know that there are certain people from the outside, for example, children of privilege and wealth. The parents don't realize that they are dictating everything already. What their children will do, like what you should take up, what job you should have, and
Mm,
even your
true.
friends and your spouse. I know of some people, these parents don't realize they're making their children, even all the way to adulthood, very unhappy, and they get mixed up and they get confused, and some of them, their marriages are broken because in the first place they were never in love, but their parents told them, oh, that one is no good for you, this one is better. So I just want to say this: do not allow even your well-meaning friends, close relatives, even parents to dictate what you will do in your life. You will find out you'll be so unhappy and frustrated. This is the time for you to declare your total independence. Be in control, whatever it is that makes your heart sing. makes you jump out of bed every morning, and then gives you enough adrenaline and energy so that no matter how many hours you spend doing something, but the joy, that's the one that's giving you the energy and you never get tired. Then you know that's what makes you happy. Be in control of your life. And it's time to start now. It's never too late. We only have one life to live, remember? Yes,
Yes.
So let's take a look at the next slide. Keep your faith. The deeper your faith is, the better. And then hope is always there for as long as you're alive. And then love, surround yourself with people who love you and who support you, who have your best interests at heart. But always, always never end your day or begin your day without saying hello to our Lord. Just um, there is something that I want to share with you. There were a group of friends, so we were discussing this one time. One of them said, "You know what? A lot of people spend loads and loads of money calling, calling. Now it's easier because of Zoom, but before you would pay thousands and thousands to our telecommunications company just to get in touch and talk with people. Why is it that you don't call on that person who can do everything for you, resolve everything for you? You know, just call on him and you don't even have to dial. You just call out to him
Yeah.
and it's free. It's free. Lord. The thing that most people also grow tired is because they do everything they can and they burn themselves out because they don't sleep anymore, working so hard. The thing is, you plan, all right? Then you take action. And then you know when to rest, you know when to relax. Let go and let God do the rest. Remember this, let go, let God do the rest. That way, you don't burn yourself up, and then you can be a brand new person, knowing there is somebody up there who will always be supporting you.
Wow, wow, that's very powerful message. Thank you. I really enjoyed listening to this session, especially when you shared with us those lessons, those stories, Dina. And this is what I think we really need. Some of these things maybe we know, but we need to be reminded that we need to have, you know, you don't even need you're right, you don't even need internet connection to talk to God, right? And you can just reach out and affirm your value as a person through that. And sometimes we just need to be reminded on things like this. And this is something, I think your message is something that we need to keep repeating over time so that people do not forget their value and their worth, so that they will become more positive. So this is good. I hope a lot of people really watch this session and share this session, because this is very important. A lot of people are getting depressed really, and this is what we need as a society.
Because many of our seniors are healthier than the younger people. I'm
I
telling you,
agree.
oh, Mike, I'm telling you, I'm a senior, as you know that very well. Mike, up to this time, I have never experienced high blood. Never.
Wow.
Every
You're
time I
healthier than me, Dina.
every time I see my doctor and he takes my blood pressure, he says, "Your BP is like a teenager, 120 over 80, never fails." How come? I don't know. I just expect it. So I only take my BP once a month or sometimes none at all, because when I look at it, it's the same, 120 over 80.
Yeah. That's
I
why that's why you don't look like a senior citizen, Dina. Look at here, your picture next to me. We look like brother and sister lang. Oh.
And the thing is this is like my diet, of course. No,
That's very important. Yeah.
I have to reveal this. My diet when I was young, as a teenager, I really hated my parents because I'm the second of 11 children, and
Wow.
our diet is was composed of veggies and fish only because that's all we can afford. We could not afford meat at that time. Oh, I was so jealous of my schoolmates. And when they bring their baon and then they will eat, and me, what I eat only veggies and fish. You know what? Many of my former schoolmates, they are long gone. And I'm still alive. I'm still so active. And I say, oh Lord, thank you that I grew up with that kind of diet. And so I got so used to that diet. So I maintained that. And guess what? I discovered that when you drink a bottle of Coke, it means taking in 8 spoonfuls full sugar.
Sugar. Yeah.
So,
Sugar's a killer.
yeah, a brother-in-law of mine died from diabetes because
Oh.
of water.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Water is
it.
the best
It's
therapy.
water. Yeah, I put also slices of lemon in the water. Sometimes slices of cucumber. So just water and my rice. I have stopped taking white rice. It's brown, black, or red rice for me.
So, Dina, based on our conversation and what you're sharing, your topic, reinventing yourselves in this midst of crisis, right? Really, what you're sharing with us are really not new information, but it's really a refocusing on what is positive in our lives. Really focusing and making sure that the healthy parts or the positive parts not only come in the mind, it comes in the physical exercise, what we eat, and the mindset, and our spiritual connection as well. No, this is what you mean by reinventing talaga.
So what I'm saying is it also boils down to self-discipline.
Discipline, yeah.
Love yourself. If you truly, truly love yourself, you will be kind to yourself and you will tell yourself, you know, the little child within you, you discipline that child. Uh-uh,
That's true.
you go.
Okay. So, ladies and gentlemen, there you have it. You now have learned a lot from this sharing again from Miss Dina Loomis. And the most important is when you learn all these things, you must have the discipline to implement or impose it on yourself to make this work. Now, we will be inviting you again to our next week's session, and we have somebody who is going to be very exciting here. We have the executive director of the Civil Service Institute, ED Arthur Turok Luis Florentin, and he's going to share with us something very appropriate and very relevant also, transitioning to the new normal through digital transformation. Okay, so be sure to tune in to all the YouTubes and the channels that we have here, the Facebook, so that you will not miss any episodes because I assure you, you will learn a lot and you will develop yourselves a lot and be ready to face the current challenges here. Taina, thank you very much. And now, let us end with our tagline. 1, 2, 3. Learning is a never-ending journey with limitless vistas. Good night, everybody.
Good night.